So I've said for a long time that the Apple Wallet application is one of Apple's most underrated apps in their entire ecosystem. I mean, think about the type of information and use cases that you give it, from your credit card information to your financial information. If you have an Apple Card, it's all tied in there, your house keys, your car keys, your boarding passes. That's a lot of things that you add to the Apple Wallet that you rely on to work 100% of the time. And that's just a testament to how sticky Apple's ecosystem can be and how reliable everything is. And now it's to the point where the Apple Wallet has basically replaced my entire physical wallet, and there's a bunch of features that Apple's added over the years to help us get to that point that not a lot of people talk about. Of course, you have the live activities and the boarding passes and everything that people know, but I want to get into the nitty-gritty and the nuanced features that not everybody knows to help you replace your physical wallet with your Apple Wallet. So without further ado, let's talk all things Apple Wallet, because there's a ton of good there, but there's also one thing that they definitely need to improve on. Let's get into it. So alright everyone, let's get right into this. And like I said, a lot of people know the big things that the Apple Wallet can do, like Apple Pay and things like that. So you double tap on the lock screen or the lock button, and you're able to pay with whatever vendor, whatever card that you want, as long as they have Apple Pay. But I wanted to get into something a little bit more nuanced. And the first is going to be your transit card. And this is big for people that live in metro areas that have public transportation, whether it's a subway, bus, and they rely on tap to pay or transit cards. So here where I am in the New Jersey, New York area, they did recently allow Apple Pay to be used across pretty much everything. But the one thing that was really annoying in the beginning was that, yes, in order to use Apple Pay, there's a little bit of friction that you need to double tap on the lock screen or on the lock button, Face ID, and then use the card that you want. But then at the same time, if you want to switch up the card, you got to go down here, find the card that you want. Yes, I have a lot of credit cards. I like to play the credit card game. And in order to play the credit card game, you like to maximize per merchant type. So transit is a type of spending category, and I want to earn as many points or cash back as possible, so I have to go through that whole process. But Apple has allowed a new piece to happen, which has been around for a little bit now, but if you go into your wallet settings, and then you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you have this option called Express Transit Card. So what this allows is that it lets you distinguish one specific card out of all of your cards, that when you do go to a transit terminal and you use Apple Pay, it'll automatically use this card that you chose without needing to Face ID or biometrically verify that it's you. You literally walk up to the terminal, you tap it, it'll use that card that you want used for that transit terminal payment, and then you just go about your way. So this has saved a lot of time and reduced so much friction to using the correct card that you want in the moment without having to stop for a second, use Face ID, prepare yourself to use it, and then stop the people behind you. You just tap it, go in, and you're good to go. This has been huge for people like myself that live in these metropolitan areas. So the second thing is going to be all about Apple Cash and how it's basically Sherlocking and getting rid of the need for things like Venmo, things like Cash App, as well as things like even Zelle. Now, yes, most of it, especially some of the stuff that I'm going to mention, is going to be between iPhones, but most people here in the US have iPhones. So first, let me quickly explain what the Apple Cash Card is. So if we go into our wallet application, you have the Apple Cash Card right here. You do have to set it up. It's free. Anybody who has an iPhone can create this account, and it's going to act like a debit card. You guys can see here, if you do move it around, there's a little bit of a movement in the card itself because of the gyroscope and stuff, which is kind of cool. So nice little Easter egg for those that are wondering. But you can see here that I have $15 in this Apple Cash Card, and it can be used at any Apple Pay terminal as well, and it's basically used like a debit card. You load it up with whatever money that you need, and you're able to use it just like any other debit or credit card, and it's using this balance to go against that transaction. But now what I like about this is that you can also send and request money the same way that you would with Venmo. So if I tap on Send and Request, you obviously have the ability to do it via iMessage, but then you also have the tap to cash feature, which is relatively new, which also Sherlocks things like Square and payment terminals and things like that, because you tap on this, you say you want $15, you press continue, you double click to confirm, and now you're ready to send. So you're able to send this and basically tap any other iPhone that you're looking to send money to, and then this goes into their Apple Cash account. So it's very easy to exchange money between iPhones. And if you're a vendor or you go to like a flea market and you're at a farmer's market, and this is a great way to take payment without needing to spend money on a Square terminal and things like that. So the fact that this is now built in is huge for people that rely on these types of payments. And then, like I mentioned, inside of the iMessage app before, you can press this little plus button and you scroll down to where it says Apple Cash. You're able to send Apple Cash money directly in the iMessage app, and then if you receive it or send it on that side, if you receive it, it'll then go into your Apple Cash account. So if we go back into the wallet, go into our Apple Cash, it'll then end up in your balance. And then also at any point, you can add or take the money out and transfer to your bank. You hit the three dots on the top right-hand corner. You can either add money or transfer to bank or whatever you see fit, which is cool to see. So this basically is a free bank account or debit card account that you could use with your Apple Card or with your iPhone. You can't use it at ATM, so you can't withdraw cash, at least not that I know of, but it is good to know that this is included with everybody, or for everybody. Now, I did briefly want to mention the app CardPointers. As you guys see, I'm very into the credit card game. I love to collect miles and points to be able to travel and do this kind of like luxurious travel, which I otherwise would not pay cash for. Again, to each their own, as long as you don't carry over any kind of payment and you're not taking on any interest, I think it's fair game to have as many credit cards as you want, as long as you're responsible. But one thing that I use all the time is this app called CardPointers. You might have heard of it. I tap in here and it basically allows you to input whatever credit cards that you already have, and then depending on what type of store, retailer, merchant that you're at, it'll know which categories are going to be used at that merchant, and then it'll recommend which one of your cards is the best one to maximize the amount of points that you're getting. So first off, I love the app and the layout. If you go into your cards, you can see all the different cards that are on here, and it'll let you know with these little icons what your spend multipliers are. You have all the offers that are associated with those cards as well. So if you're trying to reach a minimum spend, or you're trying to use all the perks and benefits of like the Amex Platinum card or things like that, it lets you keep track of that. Then you also have these pointers, so it gives you ideas in terms of how to actually maximize your points. And then last but not least, which is my favorite feature, is being able to just search the merchant type. So if I go to like Lowe's, which is a hardware store, type that in, it'll let you know which one of your cards will be best to earn the max amount of points. Maybe I can do something like a Burger King for food, or a Bear Burger, which is the same thing. So it lets you know that I get 4x back here, 3x back here, 3x back here. So it's good to know to have that information. And then they recently added an integration into ChatGPT and Claude. So if I go into ChatGPT, I can actually have a conversation and it's pulling the correct data from the CardPointers application. Now again, you're not putting your credit card information, it's not doing anything like that, it's not taking any of your transaction data. You're basically just putting the type of card that you have and then it'll follow along there. So you can see here that which card is best for Lowe's right now, and it'll let me know which one of my cards is best right there. So if you like to communicate via ChatGPT better, you can do it that way. So big shout out to CardPointers. I'll leave them linked down below if you guys want to check them out. They have some awesome deals. And it's an indie developer, and you know we love supporting indie developers. So the next piece is going to be all about access that the Apple Wallet gives you in terms of your car keys, your home keys, a hotel key. And it's been amazing with the updates that they've been having, especially with the car keys, with more and more brands beginning to adopt it. I think that Tesla did it the best first, and they kind of optimized the Bluetooth variant of this, but now with the actual digital car keys in the Apple Wallet app, the proximity stuff is next level. So you can see in here that I have my Rivian key. So whenever I walk into my Rivian, as long as I have my Face ID unlocked, and then I can also use it on my Apple Watch, it'll know when I walk up to it, it'll unlock the car. Now I know, like I said, Tesla has done this before with Bluetooth, but before with Rivian, they tried to do the same Bluetooth tech and it just wasn't good. Like I would stand next to my car for 5 to 10 seconds and it would unlock the car. With this new form of unlock, having the digital key and it being encrypted in the way that it's supposed to be, it's instantaneous. When I walk up to the car, it'll unlock. I have some control here as well, so being able to do it natively from the wallet app is great. Same thing goes with my house key. All I have to do is walk up to my doorknob, tap my phone with NFC the same way that I would tap at a terminal. I'm able to unlock my home key. So again, a lot of this stuff is just helping not only replace your wallet, but also replace your keychain. Like I walk out of the house with nothing but my phone now. Sometimes I'll have it where I have my ID because I live in New Jersey where they don't do the digital ID yet, but it's nice to know that I literally walk out with no keys, no house keys, no car keys. I just walk out with my phone, which is something that, again, I'm relying and I'm trusting that the Apple Wallet will work at all times, which is something that's crazy to think about. Again, you know that a product is working the way that you want it to when you just kind of forget about what it's replacing completely and you just trust it wholeheartedly. And then one of the biggest things that happened that really transformed how I view the Apple Wallet is going to be that you can finally put in your physical credit card information encrypted in the Apple Wallet app. So if you go into the Wallet app again, I'm gonna have to blur out a lot of information, but previously the way that this worked was, yes, you would put your credit card and you would input it, you would add it through the Apple Wallet application, you would put the credit card number and all the necessary information, and then it would live in your Wallet app. But the way that Apple did it was, let's say if I go to one of my random cards here, you can see that I'm on the World of Hyatt card. If I press on this, you can see that you have the Apple Pay emblem right here, or the Apple Pay section. That means that this is a kind of made up number that Apple used. It's an encrypted credit card number that's kind of the middleman. So when you are using Apple Pay, you're not using your, World of Hyatt card, you're not using your specific credit card information, using the information that Apple gives that payment terminal and then gives the okay on both ends to say that, hey, yes, this transaction can be completed. So the merchant never gets your credit card information no matter what. But what's nice to know now is that the Apple added the ability to add your physical card information. So you tap on here, and you can either add it via a picture or enter the card details manually. You can add that and then it's saved. So after the fact, if for some reason Apple Pay isn't working or whatever the case may be, you can go in and actually get your credit card information. Whereas previously, if your Apple Pay didn't work, I would have to go out and physically grab my credit card, either give the credit card number or whatever the case may be. But now you can have all that information stored in your Apple Wallet app, which is hidden behind biometrics and things like that. So this has been huge as a kind of fail-safe and another way to trust the Apple Wallet that, hey, if this kind of first thing fails, I can then go out and find my credit card number and pay by just typing in my credit card number. And then one last thing that I wanted to mention here is actually one thing that Apple really needs to improve on, because the idea is great, but the implementation has been lackluster in my opinion. And it has to be order tracking. Apple announced order tracking with iOS 18, where you tap on the three dots, you tap on the orders, and you're able to kind of see it in real time, what's happening, when it's gonna come, tracking orders and things like that. But for some reason, I guess maybe I'm just not ordering from the correct merchants and things, but the ordering just hasn't been reliable, right? As you can see, there's been 4 orders since 2022 that have been thrown into the orders application or the orders section. And obviously I've ordered way more than 4 things in the last 4 years. So the fact that it's not being picked up or recognized by the orders application or the orders section, I don't know exactly how Apple's pulling the data, but it just hasn't really worked for me. When it does work, it's really cool. And being able to get those kind of push notifications in real time and being able to track it has been great. But outside of that, it just hasn't really been working for me. So I do think Apple needs to improve on that if they want it to be as good as I think it can be. But that's everything that I wanted to share with the Apple Wallet app. Let's finish up the video. So as you saw, everybody, the Apple Wallet app is very robust, and it's more than just adding your credit card information and then using it in an Apple Pay terminal. Some of the big ones that we mentioned are the ability to actually have your physical card information inputted and encrypted inside the Apple Wallet application, because that really has helped me replace my physical wallet, because now we know that in a pickle, you can just get your credit card number, pay for whatever you need to at any merchant or any store, and you'll be good to go. Same thing with replacing things like Venmo and Zelle and Cash App by just using Apple Cash directly from iMessage. It's just an amazing thing to see, and people just don't really talk about the Apple Wallet because it's one of those tech features that you just kind of forget about and then use on a daily basis, and I think that is what makes a fantastic tech product on a software and hardware side, when you forget how much you rely on it and how much you use it on a day-to-day basis. But let me know in the comment down below what you think. Is the Apple Wallet something that you use? Do you use it a lot? Is it something that you rely on? Do you trust it? Always curious to know your thoughts. But if you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin, and if you guys want to watch more videos like this, check out one of these videos right here. Until next time, I'm Fernando. Peace. Also, definitely check out CardPointers. Definitely worth it if you're into the credit card game at all.